Greetings, community, and welcome to Entropy and Comics. Thank you, and I appreciate you being here for another episode of Kevin's most anticipated reads tomorrow for New Comic Book Day, 12/24/2025. I appreciate everyone that cruises on through. I truly do. And for those of you that cruise in on the live, let's take a moment and say hi. Hey, Las Cruces, and look at that. Your catchphrase is right back. Say, man, how you do? Hope all is well with you. And let's get to it, shall we? Let's go ahead and start it off with Mad Cave. Now, Mad Cave is going to go ahead and give us one title on this week, which is Gotcha-Man, issue number 15. Again, that comes out tomorrow, Wednesday, on 12/24/2025. Yes, that's Christmas Eve, people. If you haven't got your gifts by now, go to the comic book store and get them a gift card. And buy one for yourself, too. Just saying. Mad Cave, yes, Gotcha-Man, issue number 15. It's been over a year now. This has not only been a consistent read by Colin Bunn writing, it's been consistent on its launch in the sense of from the time that it launched to the time that it's right now, coming out tomorrow. It's been on time. It's been solid read. I'm loving this continuous battle of our space invader, which is Galactor, and his minions, let's call it, trying to invade Earth. And we have our scientific ninja that's protecting us, which is the Gotcha-Man. Now, this group of 5, there is fallback, there is contingency plans, but we have a primary group of 5. This is, if you're not familiar with this old 60s style run, familiarize yourself with the trades. I do implore, and you won't do yourself any wrong. If you've already been catching up, I highly recommend going out and get this. Do not stop reading this because it's an awesome read. And again, Gotcha-Man 15 coming out on 12/24/2025. Let's move on from Mad Cave and cruise over to Marvel Studios. Marvel's going to go ahead and start it off and end it with Amazing Spider-Man issue number 18. I've been really impressed by the consistency of not only this run, but how it's been ramping up to what we're getting. We're getting another major war, but it's also leading into what we're going to be receiving into this summer, or actually spring, where we're getting this 3-way battle between Carnage, Venom, Spider-Man. But right now, we still have Spider-Man out there in space, and he's trying to find his way back. He got knocked out there in space and a solid hit, and he was told he was essentially not worthy, but not ready. And he's been doing some space stuff out there. He's ready to come on back. In that meantime, what's been happening is everyone's been kind of filling in the gaps for him as best as they can. I would have to say a few people, Osborn, are losing their mind again, and it's been awesome. The way it's been happening is considerably different than what we get, a Goblin-style story. And essentially, that's where we're going to start heading towards again. Hey, Christina, I appreciate you hanging out with me. I truly do. Oh, look at you. Thank you very much. All right, hey, let's move out from Marvel and cruise over to Image Studios. Yeah, they just been doing an amazing job. Image, I knew they were, and I even said this 2 years ago, that they're going to be the one that's going to end up start leading in the sales because of the stories that they're bringing. And yeah, they're bringing some solid stuff. Let's go ahead and talk about, since we're talking about solid stuff, Department of Truth, issue number 35. Here we are. What is this, like over 4 years plus deep? I think if I recall, we're now 5 years deep, even though it hasn't been really consistent on the style of launch. What we're getting is a tiny run. Now, what we're essentially saying there is what we got. 4 works right now of James's stuff from 2020 to present day that is in production. Not option, in production. Everything from something that's killing children to, I mean, actually, there's just way too much to talk about. Really, what we're talking about here is the book that's coming out tomorrow on 12/24/2025, which is Department of Truth. This has been really escalating, not only in what we're talking about, the gravity of essentially we were just talking about it from one point of view when we're talking about from America, but we're tying in a little bit of the understanding of where Russia's coming from. Also, we're getting the flip side of the agents and those agents and how they're feeling about the work that they're doing and how they're shaping the world in their future and how they feel about it and how they almost kind of want to influence it themselves, which is why Oswald has been doing what he's been doing. Hawk has been doing what he's been doing. It's not totally in line what I think, which is what the department really essentially wanted to do initially. So we're finding out a lot of people have their own agendas and how they're contending with this after 5 years has just been awesome. I think the reason why this doesn't become my most anticipated read is because, one, I'm usually a little far behind, and two, it's so elaborate of a story that it's not until I'm done that I really remember entirely what's been going on and how much backstory and history is in this, that it kind of, I guess, fogs over how I truly feel about this read. This is a read that is not only, I feel, a must for anybody that's into conspiracy theories and likes to entertain that kind of thought, but for someone that really wants to have, at this point in time, a nice, lengthy, entertaining, and quite unique style read. Department of Truth, issue number 35, coming out on 12/24/2025. Let's cruise out from that and talk about Red Coat, issue number 16, talk about in production. When I was talking to Jeff Johns about this title, April 20th, April 21st. Yeah, I believe. Anyways, he asked me some of the titles and which that I really enjoyed. I told him how much I enjoyed Red Coat and for the reasons why. He told me that I would be happy to know, and some of the first that he's told this to was that it was in production. When I ended up finding out, I was not only tickled, but I did make it a quick announcement, and I didn't make it a big one, but I made it one. So now that I know that everyone knows that this is out, I've really been thoroughly enjoying the fact that everyone's going out and buying everything from Ghost Machine and enjoying it, I feel, as much as I. Red Coat, issue number 16. If you like a unique history style story of an immortal trying to do the right thing, even though he's the wrong person doing it, that's enough right there. I think go ahead and wet your whistle to go ahead and give this book a read. Let's move out from Red Coat, issue number 16. Talk about Sisterhood, a Hyde Street story, issue number 5. This is one of the first Ghost Machine universe style stories that were ever told in the Ghost Machine, outside of the Geiger story. This is a story by Maytel Zut, if I'm pronouncing that correct. And it's a story of a girl that was victimized by a bunch of, let's call them sisters, inside of a sorority and kind of fell victim to her own anger and is now put it onto her friend. And her friend is now battling with what is not only right, but how her own legacy is going to reflect on not only how her friend's death came about, how she's going to live her own life, or how it's just going to be determined by the reflection and how she wants to be influenced and be influenced by those sisters that had killed her friend. It's a very intertwined story. I've really been interested in the story because of not only the variables that are involved in the story, but how it's been delivered. It's really awesome art. I really like the darkness in it and the purples. It really tells part of the story. I think issue number 5 does tell the complete story, and I'm looking forward to get into it. So Sisterhood, a Hyde Street story, issue number 5, coming out to you and me on 12/24/2025. Let's cruise out from that and talk about the last Image title, which is Void Rivals, issue number 25. Here we are in a totally different movement in the storytelling of the Energon universe. And what I mean by that is now we have a better understanding of how the ring and the black hole and everything is holding not only the two peoples apart and together, but not from them ripping each other apart because of the unity that has to kind of happen still, because this ultimate bot is at its weakest point. And even though it was coming through, it was killing all these people, which we learned that it has to be a must for the sacrifice of to end this thing. What we're getting is this is the actual space style story of the Energon universe, absent of what we're getting from the Cybertronian style storytelling that we're used to, that normally builds, well, at least the Transformers universe, but we're talking more than that. This Void Rivals is actually the catalyst between, in my opinion, a better understanding of why the Transformers are on Earth, how and why they're forced to work with G.I. Joe, and how inevitably we're going to circle right back to the beings of Void Rivals and how it's going to influence the overall Energon universe. Just saying. But hey, this week's Blue Light Special is from IDW. Event Horizon, The Dark Descent, issue number 4. I can't get enough of this book. This is a story that goes ahead and gives us the before and slightly during of the story film of Event Horizon. Now, what I did learn is also we are going to get the story that happens after the story of the film. I can't wait for that. It's supposed to happen, I think, early spring. This story has been amazing. It's been sad, torturous, horrific, and a deeper understanding of the overall story in it and of itself. As I mentioned before, it is a love story of sort, but that of a sad, twisted, and really tortured soul that is just trying to get back to the love of his whole world, which is his wife and his kid. And we learn that it is through that blind love that he's willing to give up everyone, everything for that love, even if it's to sell his own soul and possibly the rest of the world, galaxy. This wormhole just goes ahead and puts us right into a world that I wouldn't wish on anyone. And it's exactly what I knew what was happening in the film, but it just gives us that affirmation that I always knew. I really love the story of this. I don't recommend it for everyone, but if you did enjoy the film of Event Horizon, do yourself the favor. Buy the Event Horizon Dark Descent trade when it comes out, or if you've been reading it, don't miss another issue. Final, I believe it's the final, comes out tomorrow. Highly recommend this, as do I look for the actual Event Horizon that comes out in a few months. For those of you that cruise on through, I appreciate you. Christina, as always, thank you very much. Ben, dude, you the man. Let's cruise this. And everyone that cruises on a rewind, I appreciate you. If you stood through the whole time, I ask that you possibly consider to subscribe and like. And that's it for me, Entropy. Thank you very much. You guys rock. Take care.